Hey guys, this is Dr. David Midoff at El Paso Manual Physical Therapy, and everybody asks me the question, is it harder to run uphill or downhill? There's a lot of debate, and I wanted to clear it up for you guys. Being a movement expert, a mechanical expert for the body, there's some differences. The best answer is it depends, but I would lean more towards running downhill. And let me explain. Let me give you the solid explanation as to why. Now, there's two major components to movement. One is strength. How strong are you at moving into that motion? And two is control. How well can you control yourself, your body, your legs, your arms, whatever it may be, going into that motion? And running uphill is largely, you guessed it, strength. You have to push your weight, your own body uphill, and it just takes a lot of strength to do so. Now, of course, as you're going uphill, for every step that you take, the ground is a little bit closer, so you don't have to exert as much control as you do strength to push yourself up. Now, going downhill is a different story. You don't need as much strength. You can kind of let yourself fall downhill. You can speed up quite a bit as well, but it takes way more control. And coming from a physical therapist, that's where I see the bigger problem lies in runners, especially, is the form falls apart on the way down. They don't have as good control on the way down, and that's where they're potentially set up for some injuries. So a tip moving forward, if you are a runner or you like to incorporate some running in your workouts and you're around hills, maybe you're intentionally doing some hill work, or you just happen to be exercising in an area that there's hills. I can tell you about where I live. I'm near the mountain here in El Paso, so anywhere I go, I have to go uphill or downhill no matter what. There's no flat ground really from anywhere I leave. I would encourage you to start going downhill first and then coming back uphill on the return of your run. And on the downhill part, make sure that as you're running, that your knees are not caving inwards, that they're not falling in. Also make sure, if you can see my waistband right here, make sure that your hips aren't tipping a whole lot. Try to keep your waist level as you're stepping and not dropped a whole lot. You see how my whole spine begins to move as a result? That sets up your body to move very poorly, down from the hips to the knees to the feet, and it's just a bad story. You may be able to get away with it for a period of time, but you're asking for some sort of compensation pattern that'll lead to an injury later on. So people break down in different places. You might get knee pain, you might get hip pain, you might get tendonitis in your knee, tendonitis in your ankle, and your Achilles tendon, or you might get some random pains in other places as well. More often than not, it's not that tissue that's the problem, it's the movement. It's that you're not controlling yourself on your run. And another problem that we see commonly that's very related to this is even on flat ground. When you're running on flat ground, people don't control well sometimes. And just like I'm explaining, they don't have a great form running flat. And we see the same injuries come up as well. So moving on forward from here, I want you, if you're a runner, consider your form. Think about how you're landing. Are stabilizing them? Are they collapsing? Hips level. You may need to be thinking about tightening up your abs a little bit or using your glutes better when you're running. There's different things to look at. If you have any questions that you just don't have a good answer on, please contact us. We'd love to help you out and give you some guidance on how to run better and be safe into your running season. Right now, it's a start. There's a lot of marathons happening. Here in El Paso, the local marathon will be coming up in a couple of months. So if you're in the middle of your training, the beginning of your training, now's the time to fix these problems so that it come January, February, whenever your race is. Everybody asks, when's running season? And there's a debate, but you crazy runners out there, you run all the time. It's year round. It is on all the time. So pay close attention to your form. Don't break down. Keep exercising that you're exercising. We love El Paso being fit. Thanks, guys.